In a last-ditched effort, before this comes to an end, the joyous journeys. Today is its very sad conclusion,
Well met.
but that's okay. We're just gonna
Be careful.
do some random gameplay. Now, normally when I'm on my Dwarf Paladin, I've been kind of doing a whole adventure, practically almost, not quite from the very beginning, sort of doing almost like a full walkthrough, if you will, of a journey from 1 to 60, essentially showing all of the classic zones in case you miss seeing that. And that's why, for the most part as well, I don't use my webcam, because it's just that little bit extra that I'm taking space up from, as well as with the guide that I use so that I don't have to think about where I'm going. But I'm really excited that I made this, because someday, who knows, 10 years from now, 5 years from now, I might even look at some of this stuff and go, wow, I remember that. Brings back a lot of memories, right? The whole nostalgia thing. Because even WoW Classic's not going to last forever. Now, for me, what makes the most sense, and I don't know if most people would agree, they probably won't, but that's okay. WoW Classic Wrath of the Lich King ends there. Anything after Wrath of the Lich King is just not classic anymore. It's the New World. Cataclysm just ruined the world. Look at like a nice aerial view of the Barrens here. The Barrens doesn't look anything like this whatsoever now. Right? None of the world looks the same on Azeroth. Classic or retail Outlands, Northrend, they're all the same. But it's Azeroth that's changed the most, so you don't really want to add Cataclysm. Now, some people will be on board for wanting a Cataclysm Classic. And I, in some ways, get that, but not really. It makes a lot less sense. People are allowed to be entitled to their opinions, but they can also be wrong about them. There's just not as much that you could argue on that point. However, a Classic Plus, which has been discussed countless times, it's nothing new. I've thought of the idea before I've heard it from anybody else, but so did everybody else that's thought of it. It's pretty obvious to have a Classic Plus whereby you would maybe introduce new dungeons, maybe. I'm just talking out loud here. Don't freak out. Well, I don't care if you do. I can't hear you anyways. Whether it's new zones, new dungeons, new dailies, bringing transmog, out-of-party mob tagging, anything that makes Classic Wrath of the Lich King one step closer to being like retail, but while still retaining its core features, would be kind of cool. Now, in a perfect world, which we don't live in, what you would have is a world that just stays the way it is right now in Classic Wrath. It stays like that until the servers die. Whether you like it or not, that should be an option. You should have maybe a couple of servers, maybe, that are like that. Maybe one or two, or a couple that move on to Kata. And maybe a couple that move on to Wrath Plus, that don't want those transmog features. They like the idea of looking at someone like me that looks like a vagrant. That probably means I suck. Right? That's what it probably means. So, having those three kinds of different scenarios caters to everybody. But then what you'll end up doing is potentially spreading people out
What you want?
too thinly. Yeah, you'll spread them out too thin. Thinly, whatever. It's early. I don't give a shit. Oops, Ice War. That's it. Video's gonna get demonetized. You know, with the new rules and stuff. So that's what I think would be kind of cool. Now, it's easy for me to say, oh, don't add anything to Classic Wrath, just leave it the way it is. Yeah, it's very easy for me to say that. Because for me, how I play the game is wildly different than how most people play the game and how I used to play the game up until recent memory. Where some people that may have been following my World of Warcraft journey throughout the years on YouTube will know that I don't really care about competitive PvP anymore and all this bullshit. I just like roaming around, having fun, helping someone with a quest, giving them a buff or a heal. Obviously not a buff on a shaman, but I could throw them an earth shield. And do that. To me, that's fun. You know, like something like this here. As an example. You know, that person was getting their rear handed to them. I was going to say the other word, but I think I'm running out of bingo cards. Until this video gets demonetized. Yeah, so very few people play it the way I do, where I just roam around, literally do nothing. That's boring for a lot of people, and I like doing a lot of Alterac Valley and Arathi Basin and Warsong Gulch, your classic battlegrounds. And just BG for the sake of doing the BG. Most people don't really do that. They want an actual end goal. They want something to work towards. And I get that. I really, really do. Because once people are fully geared, they'll feel bored. Whereas for me, I would be on top of the world. I'd be like, this is where I want to be. Like right now, my druid, for my liking, he's well geared. He's decently geared. He's got the PvP gear. Okay. It's just great. He literally can't really get much better than what he has. Unless I do arena. Or I were to raid. In which I have zero interest in doing whatsoever. Like I just have none. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't need to be in the highest tier, gear category at level 80 to go and give somebody a buff that's maybe in the hinterlands or in Hillsbrad foothills. Right? Like I don't need that. Especially on a PvE server. Now you might be looking at my shaman here and going, yeah, but Einstein, you're on a PvP server. Great. It also has a 99.9% horde population. There's like never any alliance, and when there are, they're not out ganking for 2 or 3 hours. A Lobie and Stranglethorn Vale. They're not doing it. I'm not saying it never happens, but it doesn't really happen on this server. So I'm not worried about that. Whether I have green gear, epic gear, won't make too much of a difference. Now, it'll make a difference if I was doing dungeons and all that. Just random mobs, or maybe how many I want to pull, sure. If I was an 80 greens versus like full epics, that'll probably make a difference on if I want to bring somebody through Scarlet Monastery and run them through. How many people I can pull, sure. But I'm looking to get the intro. Whoa. I was gonna say, I might die here. And I don't think... Nope. That's not gonna happen. Oh well. Whatever. That's all good. We'll just walk on water. And I was just here on my Dwarf Paladin not long ago. Give me a quick moment. Yes, I'm still trying to figure out what to do, to be honest, moving forward. There hasn't been a lot going on the last month. There's some small droughts around this time of year. We're sure a couple of games will come out here and there, but not really.
Hey, yeah. Glad I could help.
There's like not much going on.
What you need.
I almost swore. That would have been the death of me for sure. Where you have to use a quest item on an enemy. I absolutely hate it. Wave Striders. Oh, that's a sea elemental. Okay. I can also get my shaman quest done here. Oh, I see. It's because you'll get your ass kicked if you don't use it. Oh, wow. Yeah, because I just love the shaman so much. Not quite as badass, I'm just being honest, as my paladin in terms of just pure ass whooping, less downtime and management. But nonetheless, I'm having a lot of fun. Like, I mean, a lot. And as I've discussed before, that is really all that matters. And that's the thing, when you find a class that you really like, you won't get bored easily. Like for the paladin even, it's funny. I don't know if I would say it this way, but one of my favorite classes, which I don't think I've discussed too much in terms of overall, where I don't mind doing PvP with them. I don't mind doing dungeons with them because I just have so much fun playing the character and looking at how they look visually. Is Elemental Shaman, Resto Shaman, maybe Enhancement, sure, but excuse me, there's something very appealing to Elemental Shaman in a dungeon where you just chain lightning spam the shit out of everything. Yeah, it helps if I'm closer. It's just so much fun. So had this been my first 80, I would have easily grinded out the heirlooms. That's the word I'm looking for my alts. But unfortunately, as a druid, as much as I love my druid, first 80, favorite class in PvP, sneaking around, you can buff, do all these things. They're not all that flashy. I like the flashy. That's just what I'm into. But like I said, on a PvE server, we don't need to be sneaky. I can AFK here and nothing's coming after me. Except for maybe a mole rat or something, you know? Yeah, so I've already been here. Oh, and for the Tauren Shaman, it's funny. I was almost thinking of if I did keep up with making videos on it. Nope. None for you. I wouldn't even bother necessarily naming my videos after the zone that I'm in, because at that point I'm not even like bothering to just showcase the zone. It's like, yeah, sure, showcase the you know, the class, the zone and all that. But for this, it's just like I've already been here for one. I don't need to like redo it. It's just going to be like, at least I think, random gameplay. And who knows, at one point it might just hard stop. Pretty sure that's not going to happen with my paladin. I don't want it to happen with my shaman. I mean, it's really not that much work to just have a level 80 that you're never going to gear. Except for keeping up with the PvP gear that comes out every season. But now if I'm playing Elemental and Resto, I'll probably just use the same gear. I'm not doing anything serious. But if I'm doing Enhancement and Resto or Enhancement and Elemental, this one keeps changing. At that point, that would require a lot of grinding, just like my Druid. Right now I'm Feral. I don't got the PvP gear equivalent for balance. I would like it, but I'm not really willing to put the work in right now for it, so I'm not gonna bother dropping my totems just for a couple of moments. Yeah, and then long term too, like I've said before, this series is by far the worst in terms of views, unless I'm doing a guide, unless I'm showing you, like, here's where the Flight Master is, or here's what you get with a level 70 boost. You only get one per account. Any of that kind of stuff. Those things will get views. Just this random bullshit here, you're not getting anything. I mean, I'm not. Other people are, obviously. Wow, I really got to get those zappers, eh? My goodness. Sorry, I was just reading something. This quest item only lasts for 2 hours. Okay. If you need a new one, abandon the quest and accept it again from the goblin. That's ridiculous. Why the hell would I want to do that? I mean, honestly, I could practically just skip the zone, really. It's like, are there not that many? Ah, there we go. It's too bad Lava Lash doesn't work with a two-hander. It's what almost makes two-handed Enhancement Shaman not really work. I mean, it works. I've done it. I have an epic of my level, or did. It wasn't as good as dual wielding. It's just not. Zappy zap. Yeah, so as time goes on, I'm hoping like through Outlands and stuff like that, once you really start dipping more into like the talent tree and stuff like that, see how it works out. Because they always say you can't base a class on questing. You got to wait until like endgame. 53 is really far from the endgame, but it should still naturally give you an idea. But some classes can be very unbalanced early on, right? And then you go and you get them maxed out and you're like, oh, this is totally not the same experience. It's kind of normal, actually, for that to happen. Like if you twink out a level 10 or 11, you can have so much dodge and parry and crit chance, and then as you level up, you get higher in level, you're actually almost getting weaker in a way. In a way. Like, it's kind of interesting how that works. See, this quest I didn't have to do on my Dwarf Paladin. But we're such a badass. I don't know if you're forced to use this. Sometimes you'll have a quest item and what happens is you need it in order to get a certain ingredient. And it also makes like something like this easier to destroy, to kill. But there are some instances as well where if you don't use the item and you try to play the hero, what ends up happening is you don't get the dropped item. I don't know if I want to risk it. I probably don't. To me, he's already manageable. But I don't want to take a chance. God, I really love the whole Wind Fury effect. What I actually hate in retail, which is fitting because they really know how to ruin the game, is even the look of Wind Fury on retail looks stupid. Not everything looks better on retail. I don't know why I keep looking over my shoulder. It's not like there's anybody coming. It would be very, very unlikely for that to occur, but it can. So that went by somewhat fast. Yeah, once I get to Outlands, like level 58, it's game over. Like, my Paladin is almost at 55. I'm almost at 54. It's just beautiful because once, like I said, you're there, you can fly pretty much. Well, not pretty much. From there on forth, you can fly until you're 80. Right? Because at 58, you no longer have to wait until you're 68 to fly. Because the next expansion after it came out, Wrath of the Lich King. Right? So you're able to fly right at 58. I hope it's 58. It's not 60. It's 58. Yeah. And then what happens? Oh, they do like to hang out way under the water. I mean, I figured they were near the edge of the water, but this is interesting. And then once you're 70... No, not 77. Once you're 68. I think it is. Once you would be able to start questing, or sorry, start originally getting the BC flying. Now you're able to get the Tomb of Cold Weather flying. You buy it on an alt that already has to have been at level 80 at least. And then as a little privilege thing, they just give you flying on your alts. Which to me is how it should be. I don't like this bullshit. You got to do all these crazy ass achievements just to earn the right to fly. You may not be on board with it, but I don't care. Because a lot of people will say, oh my god, flying just ruined world PvP. And I get what those people are saying. I really do. I just don't care. My opinion still stands that... Come on. You don't weigh that much. There is no reason to have it locked away such crazy achievements. I just love how they basically just hand it to you, but you gotta wait near the tail end of it. And then don't forget, on a PvP server, the game isn't just about world PvP. As much as I want it to be, it isn't, so let's not fool ourselves. Some people play on a PvE server. Should the rules be different? I don't know. But I get it. If you're just into world PvP, having flying everywhere and then just it being given away, well then sure, that's going to ruin your experience. But the game's never been balanced around that kind of gameplay, so... You know what? I'm feeling generous. Let's drop them like it's hot without using the zapper. You see that? That's an example why you need to use it. Because it allows you to get that quest item I took one for the team. That's it. That thing's gonna run out in 2 hours. We only need one more. Ah, really? Now I'm already back here. Hold on a sec. It's getting warm. I mean, it's incredibly cold out. Oh, there we go. So it's usually best to use the quest item. Now we can turn that shit in. You know, I love wearing a hat. But at the same time, it gets really itchy and annoying.
Time is money, friend.
We're almost there.
Have a good one.
Now we can... Whoops. We can destroy this item. No longer need it. Rage Scar Yetis. Really? Because, you know, there's the Yetis, right, in this game. Like in this, keep looking at my keyboard. I think it's down over here. Yeah, right here. Actually, is a very common spot in Feralas to get the Yetis. I did not have to get these ones at all on my Paladin. And I get it. Not everything's a mirror between Horde and Alliance in zones that you share. But a lot of times they're, I don't know, 80, 90% the same. I don't know the exact percentage. And it doesn't mean that the quest isn't there, but when you follow one of the most reputable guides, they have you do one or not do the other. There's a reason for it. Yeah. Now these guys are getting a bit strong. They're getting close to my level. Because I think these Yetis are a higher level. Oh, I should grab that. I should grab the sun. Seriously? Who asked for you? Nobody. Harambe. Go join your brother. Didn't ask for you either. But here we are. What am I doing? Is that Harambe? Haramba? La Cucaracha? You know, that famous... whatever it was. Gorilla, chimpanzee, ape? I don't know. Harambe? I don't know. There was a meme going on for a long time. I don't even really know what happened to that animal to begin with, apart from, I don't think it was all that good. They're not as high as I thought. Okay. But I think they're higher. Listen here, Dingleberry. You don't touch my totem. And I think this is one, too, that's odd, where you can skin the quest item, just like the other Yeti. Yeah, see? That's kind of cool. It makes it so that I don't have to waste as much time with them. Because, I mean, I'm going to be... Is it 50? Yeah, 54 already. Hey. Look at him. What the heck? You're destroying my intellectual property. Is it intellectual? Or was I just trying to sound intellectual? Huh? You see what I did there? Good thing I quit my day job so that I can do this full time. I think I'm gonna stop once I ding-a-ling-ding. And yes, I'm over the 300 because I already went to Dalaran to learn above 300 skinning. Not that it matters, because I would be on par with the animals of Outlands anyways. Here comes the thing. I wish they would have made it so that totems draw no aggro whatsoever. Unless, of course, it's shooting a fireball right at your tushy. I mean, that's a little bit more understandable. Is there a cave here? Yeah, I think there is. Right here? No. What was I thinking? Well, there's something here. Perfect Yeti hide. In and outside the cave. Where's the cave? 80,000 hours, you'd think I'd remember where the entrance is to a cave. Oh, okay, it's in here. We might actually even have to go inside, I'm not too sure. And with getting the mana back when you get hit, you don't really get hit. As Ellie. Oh, I did get one. Sweet. You want some of this, cowboy? I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, as Ellie, you don't get hit as much, or at least you're not supposed to, because you're ranged. You won't get as much mana back as when you're melee, because melee, you're going to get spanked a lot. Like a lot. Gold thorn. Come on, where's that glowing herb? Nope, it's gray. Forget it. We're not doing it. But yeah, I like this zone. Visually. Questing in it, I don't know what it is. It's just a bit... It's always been a little bit of a weird area for me, and I think it's because it's quite a dead zone. 18 years I've been playing this game. Like, I keep having the... Whoops. The need to remind you. This is definitely a zone that I've seen one of the least amounts of people throughout the years, regardless of the server I was on. So. Now, at the main headquarters. Oh, I've seen lots of people, sure. But out and about questing? This ain't no Stranglethorn Vale. This ain't no Hillsbrad Foothills. That's what I'm basically getting at. Let's see what kind of thing we need to... I like that. I like when you ding ding. And it's because... Oh, I'm not going to do this yet. I'm going to wait. Not like 1 point's going to make a difference. I mean, it could, but... Collect a horn. Okay, let's do it. Wow, look how much stronger I am already. Sarcasm. Use the horn. We'll do that. And it looks like we gotta get rid of a few of these. Because we have to get rid of just a few, so might as well do it now. Although it seems like there's more than enough to go around. But yeah, like the Barrens, Hillsbrad, even Tenaris, there's just zones that are just like more popular, so it seems, than others. And this is one of the, if not the most populated server in all of WoW Classic. Nope. No magic for you. I've got your heart. Terrible voice acting. You know those like Vicrul super tall things in Wrath of the Lich King? They're like, I eat your heart. Or something like that. Yeah, exactly. That's why they hire professionals for that. Another horn, just because apparently it's not enough to have one. I really hate that Earthshock no longer interrupts. Oh, I thought I dropped my totems. Not the end of the world, but I do miss it. Come on. Ooh, some rogue feathers now. Yeah, I might as well grab it. It could potentially give me a point. I should go for my walk. It's already... Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to wrap it up here. How long have I even been recording for? Oh my goodness. Really? 40 minutes? Well, 37 minutes, whatever. For this? Yeah. It's time to go. As always, if you liked the video, go ahead. Go ahead. Give it a thumbs up, I dare you. It does greatly help support the channel with the algorithm and making me a little bit more relevant in the search results. Didn't like it? Don't really care. Go ahead, give it a thumbs down. I'll bend it in half, twist it, and I'll throw it on one of my totems. That's what happened to the last person, see? See those little things right there? Those are people's thumbs and toes that I stuck on my totem. Anyhow, if you want to subscribe to the channel, naturally, that would be great. But if not, thanks for stopping by anyways. Take care. And maybe... Wow. I'll see some of you in the next one. Bye for now.